Reggie the robot. Can they hear the music?
Yeah.
If you're on Facebook?
You should be able to hear this.
Ladies and gentlemen! I want to see myself do that real quick. Okay, here we go. We're live streaming. And there it is. What's up, everyone? What's up, Facebook? What's up, Ryan?
Hey.
What's up, Reggie the robot?
Hey, Reggie. How's it going, buddy?
Let me put...
What does Reggie do? Does he do stuff?
So actually, Reggie is asleep right now.
Okay.
He wanted to take the year 2018 off.
Oh.
He worked really hard, but he still, he still shows up. But when he's like ready to go,
yeah,
you can press this button up here and smoke rises. He makes lots of noise. He's very active, so that's why he needs a little bit of rest.
Gotcha. Yeah, let him rest.
But 2019, man, Reggie will be awake and ready to rock the party. Let me tune in. I'm gonna meta this and just tune in on
your phone. Hey there, Facebook. How's it going?
Phone.
Thanks for checking in to the stream. We're at the Pod Space. I'm really, really honored and feel really good to be here with my good friend John Shockness.
Yeah, we're having a great conversation today. Here it is.
Nice.
That's us, man.
And we get to watch ourselves.
Hey, Ryan Foo.
How's it going, buddy?
Please introduce yourselves to the podcast.
To the World Wide Web, huh? Introduce myself. Hello, I'm Ryan Foo. I'm a human being, and or at least I'm playing one right now. I get to move around in this body. I'm an MC and a director and a host and
event
producer. Yeah.
Actor.
Yeah, I would actually not
Singer?
claim. I would not claim actor. I studied vocal music, but I would not claim singer either.
But you do both.
Yeah, but like labels are stupid because everyone can sing. So what makes someone a singer? Must be that they enjoy doing it, right? That it's a form of expression for them.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the case for me.
Got it.
Like in my shower, maybe, but not like on stage. Not like
you. Do you sing to your baby mama?
Oh, all the time. Yeah, but we sing stupid stuff, it's like I don't know, it's time to get breakfast. We'll sing about getting breakfast. Yeah, we're gonna be super cute with the baby.
I already love it. Okay, so yeah, you are Ryan Foo.
Yeah.
Person swimming around in this body.
That's what's happening.
And you do events, you direct. What has been one of your favorite experiences so far in doing what you love? You say singing might not be that, but that thing that you do love. What is?
Well, I really love Peace Jam, but honestly, directing or co-directing Honorable Disorder was up there for me because it was such a fantastic piece of art. Jeff Campbell did a great job writing it. It was funny as all hell, and it was really meaningful. You saw it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So that was a play, Honorable Disorder. It was set here in Denver.
Yeah, in 5 Points.
In 5 Points,
yeah.
Which is where we are right now. And you were the director of it?
Yeah, I was a co-director. Jeff wrote it, and as he was directing for the first sort of month and a half, he realized I can't really simultaneously be in it and direct it. At least that's not a good idea. And shout out to him for having the wisdom for being able to step back. And so I jumped in there, and it turned out really good. I was really happy with it.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
And so Honorable Disorder, because you've done a lot of stuff in the time that I've known you, but you would say that is one of the, that's the first thing that came to your mind.
It was the first thing. It was also this year, so it was recent. I think
that was this year?
Yeah, that was this year. 2018 has been crazy, and chocked full of stuff that just makes it feel super long. But
it's
that's
one
okay.
day. It feels like it's been one day, but it's been the longest day
of your life,
of my 10,000 lives.
I don't feel like 2018 has been one day. I feel like 2018 has been a century, and that there's been a variety of decades in this 1 year. That's what it feels like to me. Other than Honorable Disorder, though, probably my birthday party.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, Illuminati is probably up there for things I like producing. I really like doing Meet in the Street when we took over the 16th Street Mall.
Are you going to continue to do your birthday celebration?
Oh, absolutely.
Illuminati every year.
We're planning the third one, and it's going to be a Dungeons and Dragons style role-playing game where you come in and you have to find a party of people and beat bosses and level up, and there's going to be real life rewards for leveling up and whatnot. So
that's great, man.
Yeah, it'll be really fun.
That's in March, right?
That is March 22nd is my birthday, but
Yeah.
it'll be whatever Saturday follows that.
Okay.
Mhm.
I was like, I know when your birthday is, but I wasn't sure what day. I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
March 23rd, dude. You're a 23rd baby like me. I'm May
I'm 22,
23rd.
22.
Oh, May 22nd. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'm March 22nd, but Quinn is February 22nd.
Mm.
That's one of the only birthdays I remember. I'm really bad, like notoriously bad with
Bad at it
birthdays.
too. That's what I'm saying.
The only two birthdays I can tell you off the top of my head, I couldn't have remembered yours. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Quinn, because he's
Yep,
the same
February
day
22nd.
the month before me,
Yep.
and that always occurs. And my baby mama, because she was born on Christmas.
Ah,
Sometimes I think about how lucky I am that she was born on Christmas, because I
Yeah, you never
probably
miss it.
wouldn't remember her birthday otherwise.
yeah.
Which
But now
says
you will.
terrible. Yeah, but now I do. So the gods are kind. Everything is perfect.
Oh man. Okay. So I want to ask, what is next for you? What are you producing next?
I'm starting a new spiritual practice.
Okay. What does that look like to you? What is spirituality to you?
What is spirituality to me? Spirituality is an examination of who we are.
Okay.
And I think for a lot of people, it feels like or looks like something really corny, rightfully so, because it maybe isn't for that. You know, like lots of religion, lots of modern organized religion is more about family and community. It's about being at the same place every Sunday and worshiping together, which is fantastic and absolutely has its purpose. For me, spirituality is a question.
Hmm.
You know, who are we? Like, why are we here? What are we doing? And exploring these questions yields a kind of answer that you can't put into words, right? Or even if you could, it wouldn't matter. You know, I could tell you, like, you are God and everything is God and everything is, you know, connected. But if you don't experience that, if you don't feel that, it means nothing.
Why do you think that's important to like go into that search for you?
I think it's the whole reason we're here.
Okay.
You know, it's a kind of game that we've been sent here to play.
Hmm.
And first off, it's super fun. It's like, I'm a big nerd. I love games. And there's nothing like the game, like the quest for self. That's the good stuff right there.
Hmm.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is that it just makes everything else so much better. If you're happy, if you're at peace, if you're centered, if there are practices you can use to navigate the rest of your life in a way that some people feel lacking in, then why wouldn't you? For me, it's sort of like the ultimate, I don't want to say answer, but it's meaning, you know?
Hmm.
It's everything.
So do you feel like it's like a continuous quest for you? Is it like something that you're trying to like find?
Absolutely, it's a quest. And I think I used to be someone who really was looking for, like, what is enlightenment and what is transcendental states of being? What are they? But I'm no longer looking for that.
Hmm. Why?
Well, I'm no longer looking for an answer. I'm more interested
Okay.
in exploring. You know, like I rather than saying like I'm looking to get to the end of that forest, I just think like, oh, look, those trees are really pretty. Let's go that way. And then I am enjoying myself more. And rather than trying to find some ultimate answer, I can just enjoy the trees. I can enjoy the forest for the trees, right? And,
When did that happen for you? When did you start feeling like you wanted to go on this quest?
it was the year Corin died, but it was before he died. Before he died.
Shout out to Corin Chavez.
Shout out to Corin
Comes
Chavez.
up like every day, dude. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about Corin and
Really?
just like our lives. Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
While we have this moment,
Yeah,
can you
what's
hand me
up?
that cable, like the
This one?
blue cable
Oh, hold
on the floor? Just because I want to make sure that when these questions start coming in, we're able. Oh, I'm gonna keep it plugged in actually.
on. Well, I don't think you can simultaneously plug it. Do you want me to plug your phone in over there?
No, I'm hoping that I can keep the phone. Can I keep it like up here?
If there's somewhere you could plug it in. I'm not sure if
it
there's power
long
close
enough?
enough. Here, let's see.
Let's try it. I'm gonna try it. I want to try it. Yeah, there we
You're
go.
good. We got it.
All right. So Corin Chavez was.
Oh shit, we've got comments already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need
I'm
to
sorry.
talk to people.
I know.
Can you? What are we saying?
I don't think I can simultaneously play music and pull up the things, but
Got it.
we're going to answer your comments in a second.
We'll be
Kay?
right back.
This is
what we're working on right now.
Yeah. And you're going to see it in a sec. Oh, it just pulled it up. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, there we go.
So just if you've written a comment, just hold on a second. We're going to read them and answer them in a moment. A reason to stay tuned in.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Corin
Passing away was a big change.
I don't think I've ever like fully had a moment to like talk about it, and like I feel like I don't know if this is the forum. Are you trying to get deep like that?
Hell yeah.
Are we going down that?
There's
portal?
no other way. You know, I'm here for the rabbit hole, baby.
Be the fucking
Let's
realest podcast. Then.
Let's go.
This would be the realest podcast.
Yeah. So in 2015, my best friend died, and he was a lot of people's best friend. I think a lot of people's good friend. Uthimia told me the other day that she didn't know Corin and saw the article that he had died and like cried and felt something really intense. And I've actually heard that from a lot of people because he was he was a powerhouse, man, and such a beacon in the community for just goodness and laughter and light.
Oh, man, like his jokes, dude. Like, I still sometimes think about his like cadence, like how Corin would say things, and it would just be so funny and like. I don't know, man. I just, like, miss that kid so much, man.
I miss him, too. I miss him all the time. And death is so valuable, you know? We
talked about it a lot after, and I feel like that was... what were you going to say, though?
Oh, nothing. Just that it's easy, I think, to think about, like, a friend dying and thinking that it's a terrible thing. Which, you know, it's not the most pleasant thing to go through in the world. But neither is growing your muscles. Or gaining the stamina to be able to run a 10-mile race. It's hard work, and death medicine is similarly bitter, but it's good for you. Bitter, good for your life. And
what was that?
It's something my wifey says all the time.
Okay,
it's a Chinese medicine thing.
Okay.
Bitter is good for you, and I learned a lot. And then Nick died the following year, and those were the two CEOs of the four sort of directors of the Black Actors Guild. And it brought Quinn and I a lot closer together, and it also grew us in a way that I don't think we ever could have imagined it was going to do. So I feel very lucky.
Do you feel like you've had the experience like where you were able to like mourn that?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember the night that Corin died, because here's some deep shit. I was the first one that his dad called when Corin died, because his whole family was there. I think they might have called his brother, but like I was the first one of the guild that he called, and he was like, "Hey, I don't know how to tell you this. Corin is dead." And my first reaction was like, "Are you sure? He's a pretty lively dude, and like he's done some crazy shit in his life, and like, what, he's just gonna die like that?" And he's like, "Yes, like he just died in my arms."
Was that the first person that you had experienced like death close to you?
Yeah. Yes, I've had people around me die, never someone who was
like in your family.
Like a family member essentially.
Especially because he's like, around our age.
Yeah, I grew up with
that
him.
was kind of crazy. Like my grandma had died maybe a couple months before. He was in October.
Oh, I do remember that, yeah.
And my grandma was in August.
Yeah.
And so like that was pretty jarring. What did you do to like mourn that? How did you feel like
I screamed at the sky and I asked the gods why, and there was a lot of like existential like questioning of the universe and all that. But also I had already
Where did you go to like just yell?
I was at the guild house.
Really?
Yeah, I was at the guild house because what I was going to say with that story is I got the call, and then I woke everybody up in the guild and told them what had happened, and immediately we all met at the guild house.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, right. Okay, you remember then.
Yeah.
And so
I just remember that text like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just it still feels so surreal, Like,
life and death are surreal.
Yeah,
man.
dude, it was like such a fucking weird moment.
It's a trippy world we live in. I love it. I'm here for it. Like, it's so cool to be able to experience something like the death of a close friend and think about, wow, like, what a beautiful experience.
Why do you feel like you're in that space? Like, what makes you feel like you're able to appreciate it?
I think part of it is pure luck. I think that some of it's what you could call divine timing or ordinance or plan. Like, my car accident when I was 18, like, if you don't know, I got into a car accident when I was younger, and and I don't remember much of my life before that. I remember like some of high school, but nothing really before that.
I remember you blasted your shit, bro. And I remember it was like you were telling me about it, and you were like, I just don't remember like what happened before this.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I was in a really bad car accident, and I know like it changed my brain chemistry somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that shit's crazy, man.
Yeah, so that...
How did it impact you, I guess?
Well, I hear all the time when I do work with people, when I do kind of like what you could call spiritual counseling, which until now has not been like a professional labeled thing I do. It's just been like I've sat with folks and we've had these conversations. People remember things from like when they're 3 and their mom got slapped by their dad and it got raw and then she, I don't know, stabbed him or something like that. There's really crazy stories that people have from when they're young, and it builds and builds, and then there's so much healing to be done, and it's an absolute blessing that I don't remember any of that. I think I also lived a really privileged life beforehand, that none of that stuck with me, but if there was anything, the slate was wiped clean, and I had a lot of really deep questions from the moment I got out of that bed. I remember waking up in the hospital bed, like really happy, and the first thing everyone said to me is like, why are you so happy? And I kind of had the opposite question, like, why are you so sad? Why are you so angsty? How come when I ask you how your day is, you say things like, not bad? You know, like that really stuck out to me because the natural state I came out of the coma with was just happiness, was just like chill in, peace, having a good time, happiness.
Do you think that's where people should live in life? Like,
I think it's where everyone starts. I think it's where everyone starts, and I think that life is raw as fuck and super intense, and you generate what the yogis call samskara, right? Soul, like sort of soul scars. They're trauma that continue to inform your experience and all that. Is your phone charging okay? You want to answer these comments?
It is.
All right. I can try and pull it up in a sec too.
It's coming in.
Let's see.
There it is.
There we go. We're answering your comments in just a second, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on. I know it's so exciting.
I don't know, so you could say it was that, you could say it was Corin dying, you could say it was Nick dying, you could say it was the introduction of yoga, and so the first theater we ever built, right, the Atlas, you were there, was in a church.
Yep.
In this beautiful non-denominational church called the Althea Center. It actually wasn't the Althea Center when we moved in.
It was the Divine something spirituality.
The first
Scientology.
church.
I was mad scared of it, dude. I was just like,
oh, really?
where the fuck am I? Like, I would walk through the, just to be scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, what is this?
Human beings do like being afraid. That's weird, isn't it?
Well,
like horror movies and stuff.
Yeah,
People
horror
love
movies
that.
scared, but I definitely was like, am I going to come out of this alive?
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
So I think, there was just, sort of by coincidence and by luck, a ton of things that happened, and here I am.
All right. We got some people talking to us on Facebook.
Let's chat.
Vincent Natvasim Klaus says, bless up the session.
Thank you.
Some
Your
emojis.
blessings are received.
Bless up. Utimia. I don't know if you know her.
I've heard of her.
Okay.
She's
She
pretty popular.
says, you're everything. He, he, he. You two are so beautiful in so many ways. I love you both and your love. Thank you for sharing.
We were talking about how pretty you were the other day.
Really?
She was like, John's real pretty. I was like, I know. I got pretty friends.
Damn, that's huge, man. Just from two of the most beautiful people I know. Thank you.
She's definitely next level gorgeous. It's not.
Everyone is.
Yeah, you're right.
But you guys are definitely top notch.
Oh,
and then Chris Vanderwalt says, I dig it.
I dig you.
Thank you.
Let's dig together.
All right, let's keep going, man.
Cool. So yeah, the spiritual thing is new, and I'm hosting this new event for the Divine Masculine space, and
Yeah,
that's
talk about
totally
that.
new. So it's called Brethren.
What is the Divine Masculine to you? Let's define that first.
Ooh, that's I almost there's a sneaky part of me that wants to say no,
You motherfucker!
and is like,
I'm so glad
You're gonna
we're
have to
friends,
come.
dude. We're like different people.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I love it. I love this meeting.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. I love this.
I'm
'Cause
so happy that you're in my life.
I get to be me, which is a crazy ass. I don't know. I feel like the Divine Masculine can show up in many different ways, but I would like your interpretation of it because, I feel like I'm searching for that for myself. Divinity, masculinity, a blending where it's a blending of my feminine and masculine qualities.
Yeah.
I just noticed we both have nail polish on.
Oh, do you have nail polish? Yours is not visible.
Mine is like fading, and it's like purposeful. Like
I have
letting
one
go,
finger.
shedding.
One finger of nail polish because I got a mani-pedi for the first time in Las Vegas.
But what was it? Yours was. I was actually just like, yeah, I love you, so I'm just gonna let you paint my nails. That was my.
Who painted your nails?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about it.
That's
the
totally
reason
right.
I'm just letting it go is because like it's like very ritualistic to be like, okay, once this fades, like just gonna let that go.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. It's a healthy thing to be able to let things go.
It is.
It's not the easiest.
It's hard as fuck.
But you want to hear a secret?
But I'm letting it be,
Yeah.
and I'm just being like, wow, that was such a great experience, and I love that it's like fading.
Okay.
Ashe.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's here and then it leaves, huh?
Yeah, dude. But anyway, what were you gonna say?
About defining the divine masculine. That's hard.
Well, first of all, I wanted to ask what your situation was because I remember you telling me that your nail polish.
I got a mani-pedi in Vegas with my wifey and my dad's girlfriend, and I had never had a mani-pedi before, which is was nice. The foot massage part was just like fantastic. The filing was a little much for me, a little close to the skin, but hey. And so I was like, why not? They said, paint your nails, da-da-da. And I said I wanted one painted. I don't have my wedding ring on me, but that goes on this finger, so.
That's dope, man.
And that's like the heart on the left side. The divine masculine is not something that we should, in my opinion, be too ready to define. It's a lot like that spiritual journey I alluded to before. If what you're seeking for in the divine masculine is an answer, then you're going to arrive there, and you're going to think you're embodying the divine masculine, and you're done. You're enlightened. Congratulations, game over. But I don't think it works that way. And I think one of the qualities of any divinity is mystery and a sort of sense of flow and a lack of solidity. And so what that means is that, for me, the divine masculine is a pursuit. It's a journey. It's not a location you arrive at. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's kind of like an intention.
I guess, like, I think of my spiritual practice as, like we've talked about this before. It's like returning back to a state of like centeredness, of balance, to where it's like you're, like, I believe it was you who kind of gave the metaphor of like a pendulum swing, and then like how far off are you pushed from that, and how long does it take for you to get back to that balance? And I think like those moments where I'm like challenged on topics that are like oh, I'm not masculine enough, you know. It feels like I'm being pushed away from that instead of like, what does my centeredness look like without definition or expectation from others?
And that's going to be totally different for every
everyone.
single person, which is why I like very strictly am not going to define that. I think that defining that for yourself is an okay thing to do, but even then I'm going to be really, really weary, and I'm going to tell people, even at this event, don't think you've got it nailed down, you know.
How much do you want to talk about the event? Because I don't want you
A
to
ton.
like give it away.
I won't.
Okay. All right. I like that. So what is it? How do you, okay, masculinity in 2018 looks like still very like, I think like either like bravado or we've talked about situations where I think the masculinity comes off as very like insecure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it comes from a place of lack.
So where do you, kind of leading this session, Brethren, which is January
6th.
Yeah,
January 6th at 6 p.m.
That's next month. Next year.
That's next year, but also next week.
Next year.
There you go. That shows you how unreal time is.
On
next
January
year and
6th.
next week.
How do you introduce like men to this space? It's a men only space, I'm assuming.
It is a men only space. It's meant for
and are
men.
you defining like men as
not at
people
all?
who
Nope.
So it's just
I'm
like,
not. If it's not clear from what I just said, I am not defining masculine. I want masculine to be something we explore, because part of what society has done to us and done a really fantastic job of is defining masculine so rigidly for us that if you don't fit into their box of masculine, that you feel like you're not masculine or you feel emasculated, when the truth is that people can't define anything for you. You know, it's as silly as telling people that blue only looks like this
when there's multiple shades.
When there's tons of shades of blue, you know.
So what is your the space that you're holding? What does that look like?
It looks like people exploring that together. It looks like men, in however that is defined for them, being near to each other, being vulnerable with each other. And I think the word that matters to me is intimate, being intimate with each other. That means close in a way that feels connected without feeling sexual. That's really important, because I think society, especially like the era we grew up in, and I think it was even worse earlier on, but like in middle school, right, how common was it to call somebody gay, you know, or for that to be an insult? I don't think that's how it is these days in middle school, but I'm sure in some places it is. But I think that there's like this pressure from society for men not to be close to each other, because if they are, there's this fear that it represents some kind of sexual tension or something like that, right?
So what do you think the reason is then, conversely, for closeness for men? Because like
brotherhood.
I did come from that space where it's like I had like multiple male friends, but I was never like worried about being intimate with them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, probably because you already were, right? Like,
what do you mean?
You weren't worried about it like you didn't mind being close. Like some dudes still have a really hard time hugging each other, right? Think about that.
I mean, I guess I just don't. I guess I do. I see both sides. Like, I see why people would just be like, you know, that's my dude. Like, I don't need to like be all close to him. But also, I can see how it's like the closeness of anyone, and not being like, oh, I want to block off, you know, because I'm trying to show that I'm a man. Like,
right.
Both can be. Yeah.
There's some coexisting that can happen. I think in America, what happens is that we are told to be men in this very specific way.
Okay.
And that way looks so narrow and so ill-defined that it creates problems for people. It creates, I think, actual physical issues for men. One of the most common things that I hear about for dudes is how often their shoulders hurt, right? And the sort of consciousness of the shoulders is all about burdens and carrying, and depending on the side, you're masculine or feminine, but this idea that there's always this weight that you have to carry is really prevalent among men. And I think that the more we take these things apart, the less we identify with society's definition of men. Really, honestly, the less we identify with anything. But specifically that is going to help people. It's going to make them feel better. It's going to make them... it's going to allow them space to be closer to not just people intimately in a non-sexual way, but also in a sexual way, right? I think about like how violent porn and all of the sexual imagery in society is. It's so aggressive, right? Which can have its place and is totally fine, but it leaves out the other half of that interaction, which is a tender, loving, beautiful, life-creating force. And balance in all things it creates a whole picture. So that's what I'm shooting for. I don't want to tell people this is divine masculine and you have to pray like this and you have to act like this and treat women like this and then you're the divine masculine. That's foolish. It's incredibly foolish. And people are going to have to figure that out themselves. What I want to create is a space for us to explore that together. Yeah?
I understand. I am also coming from the space of like, what do you hope that people walk away from it with? Like, how do you feel like you were hoping that people will be transformed after the experience?
I think that the name says everything, right? I want you to feel like you got brothers. I want you to feel like you and I do, right? Like if it was the end of the world, you know, and like our cell phones still worked for some reason, and I called John, and I was like, I bring whoever you love and whatever to this spot. We're holding it down together. I expect to see you there.
Yeah, I would be
right?
there.
And we would, and I
That would be
trust you in
awesome.
battle, right? Like
Yeah, let's get it.
I would absolutely stand next to this dude with a sword and a shield, and I would expect him to have my back, and I would absolutely have his. That's a level of brotherhood. That's an inkling of the divine masculine that, oh, it's still good. It's an inkling of the divine masculine that we all should have access to, and not just men, but especially men today. I don't think women struggle with that sense of fraternity, or you could say sorority, or whatever. But like women hold it down, man. The coven is strong today. I see so many magical, like, you know, witch bay ladies out there holding it down for each other and supporting each other in all the crazy shit they go through. I see lots of men enter traumatic states and feel like they have nobody. And that's not how it should be. And it's not how it has to be. We have to build that brotherhood together. That's what the witches do. You know, they didn't just happen into these sisterhoods. They built them. They built these covens with ritual and with space and with intention. And men need to do that too. I'm not really sure why we haven't. I think maybe the privilege of society makes it seem like we don't need to. I think maybe America pushes individualism a lot. And like the idea of being a man is partially about holding it down by yourself. You're supposed to be like this one-man army when that's stupid. No one's a one-man army. So yeah. I hope that was a roundabout way of explaining divine masculinity.
What has your process been in finding like your own definition of divine masculinity, and like where did you come from, and what have you personally become based on your journey?
I used to be bad. I will call out, I doubt she's watching this, but I used to be like super madly obsessed in love with a girl named Brittany Vickers when I was in high school at Denver School of the Arts. And she's a fantastic human being, and we've got a great relationship now, but I think it's not like we talk all the time, but when we do, it just feels really good and loving. But before, I was super attached to, and I think there was a realization as I came out of my coma and as I got to know her more deeply that like what I thought she was not. I was projecting this image onto her that I wanted her to be. And from that point to what you could call my spiritual awakening, there was a lot of really ugly stuff I had to unpack around what I thought of women, around what I thought of men, around my nihilistic view of the world. I thought everything was pointless and nihilistic. I don't really know what other words to use. And as I began to find meaning, I had to seek that meaning inside and love myself and find, be like, oh, I really like this human and I'm going to work on him. And as that love developed for my own being, I think I found more of what you could call the divine masculine, which is just loving yourself. Yeah.
If you have any questions for Ryan or I, please send them. I'm like scanning the Facebook page right now.
Thanks for watching, guys. There's
It doesn't
been some
look
of you
like we
been watching for a while. I appreciate it.
doesn't look like we have any questions currently.
That's all good.
Um,
What about you?
What do you mean?
Like, have you feel like you're, specifically with fatherhood, do you feel like you're...
Quinn did this too. He asked me questions, and I was like, God damn it, this is my podcast.
Well,
But
don't let me.
No, I'm just kidding. As a father, how do I feel like what?
How do you feel like your sense of masculinity has changed?
I think the biggest thing
Is
that's...
that Chris Gray? Does that say Chris Gray is watching? What's up, Chris? He's talking about how nice your beard is, if you're still listening.
Motherfucking Chris.
Chris Gray. I love you, and I was talking to Quinn the other day, specifically about how I liked your beard, and I'm growing mine out because I'm a little jealous. And my revealing that is the divine masculine. Sorry. That's the case of it. Take your time, do your social media thing.
I'm just letting people know we're out here.
We out you.
So they're not missing
let me
moment.
share this. I haven't actually shared it on the thing.
So, damn, dude. We're getting deep. We're going there. I don't give a fuck.
Sorry.
We're gonna go.
That's I love it. I think some people aren't about the deep shit.
Nah, let's break it down, man.
Yeah.
Last year for KID Astronaut.
Yeah.
John Shockness. I think in a lot of ways, like John Shockness, have like completely died, and like now I'm like being reborn into what is Kid Astronaut, which represents like my highest self. I think we've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
Much like it's like Ryan Foo, you know, you're playing or you are becoming, you're unfolding this, you know, idea, this person.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kid Astronaut is a father. Outside of, you know, all the music and podcast fun I have. But damn, dude, I think
How did your idea of, back to the question, how did your idea of masculine change upon becoming a father?
I don't know if my idea of masculinity changed.
Really?
No, I think I've always like had an idea of what masculinity should look like. I guess for me, I don't know if I've always like fit into those parameters. Like for example, a new thing that I'm kind of like stepping into is being a provider, and
like making money.
Yeah, making money and you know, just like providing, like creating space for things to grow. And I think like my journey has always been just like live my best life and like do what feels, you know, good and true in my heart. But like with kids, like you just have to like hit these like bare necessities, you know, like
buying diapers and food,
and water, clothes.
That hasn't impacted your sense of masculinity or manhood at all?
No, it definitely. I mean, it hasn't changed my definition of masculinity. It's, I guess, just challenged where I am in that path because, like, you know, for me, it's like I aim to be a provider, and I aim to be able to have those resources just available, ready to go. And in a lot of ways, I don't think like I've reached that
really
as much as I want to.
What do you mean? You feel like you haven't been able to buy diapers when you want to buy diapers?
No, I mean, I'm definitely like on the diaper, like, but it's just like, man, like, I think turning my mindset. Sorry, I know I'm hitting the mic. Turning my mindset every month to like I have to now like be on it.
Yeah. There's like other people relying on you being on it. It's not just you.
Where before it was like, you know, I'm just able to create, and I think I've also had like issues with like the money system and capitalism and colonialism and like collecting dollar bills with old white guys' faces on them.
Straight up.
I've had all of these issues that now I suddenly have to get over or create a new system in the interim. Like, okay, if you're not going to get money, in what way are you going to buy diapers? You know?
Right, totally. There's like some compromise that has to happen that didn't seem like it was as necessary before.
I guess it's compromise, but it also feels very like my soul is being collapsed.
Yeah, and I'm going to piggyback that to like what I was saying before, that the reason it's not some occultish issue as to why we've been forced into these boxes as men. It's because it makes people money. That's the only reason. And you could say the fact that it makes people money is even that is a metaphor for really just that they can control us, that we can work 9-to-5 jobs and build their houses and make their things so that they can have yachts and Nikes and whatever they need. And you know, even Nikes, I doubt that people who are super rich wear, right? I guess that's something we consume and build.
No, they wear Nikes, but then they just burn them when something black happens.
Something black happens. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that recognizing...
I keep it real on my podcast.
Good, do that. I support. I think that recognizing that it's not random that we've been put in these situations, it's to someone else's benefit, it's to the system's benefit, and the system benefits a very small amount of people.
I guess for me, it's like my masculinity looks like, how do I, as a man, like the real masculinity in me is like, how do I remove myself from that system and provide for my family and create something new so that I'm not reliant on the same thing.
Do you grow any food?
I mean, I'm definitely going to start.
Yeah, I've grown some food for 2 years now, and that's amazing. It's not like, like a super sustainable amount of food.
Yeah.
But just like reconnecting with the earth and feeling like I know how to tend to a plant and help it grow and see the signs of mold and, all of that feels like a kind of tending, a kind of husbandry that is a provider,
Dude, I think you do that so well, man. And like, honestly, I look at you as inspiration for like, just like what that looks like. Like,
Thank you.
No, man, it's true. Like, I didn't, my father's been in my life, but I think as like in this situation, I would have loved to have like just more examples of like being a provider and what that looks like. And then, the hardest thing is like just being in it and like having to adjust, just being like, bam, like I'm here.
All we have are our symbols, right?
What do you mean?
All we have are our stories, our mythologues, the people that come before us that show us how to do things. So we can't be too hard on ourselves. When
I think that's what it is, dude. I'm like, I'm being super hard on myself because realistically, like my sons are good. Like they have food every day. Like they do have diapers, and I think it's like at this moment, the life I live is like very much reliant on my output as an artist and also my output as far as like who is my audience and like creating those avenues for like fundraising, you know? And like having to not like I wasn't thinking of that before,
right?
But now it's just like, okay, what do I as KID Astronaut need to like tweak, like what can I add?
I could see how fatherhood adds that sort of momentum to having to do those things. I feel like, I'm somebody who dropped out of college and started a business, and it's still is something that doesn't always pay all of my bills, so I have to take freelancing gigs and all that stuff, and bless every single human being that works with us, because sometimes we're not allowed to, we can't even pay people on time because folks pay us late, and money is a super crazy thing to have to work with, especially as an entrepreneur, which I'm sure you know. And I can feel the pressure as baby gets closer to this world of like, oh, it's time to turn up. It's like, it's Super Saiyan time, like Kaioken times 1,000. It's time to go ham and get it and receive it. And I think about my baby mama gives me shit all the time, Utimia, because I sit down with people a lot at coffee shops who are like, hey, Ryan, I want some advice on this or that. And sometimes it's spiritual or sometimes it's business, but I'd never get paid for that. And I should. And I should always feel like the energy I put out in the world is coming back. That's right. And that's on me. That's not on anybody who's ever sat down with me. So I think that it's less for me about like the money and more about feeling like every ounce of energy I put into the world is coming back to me in some way. Maybe it does, but I specifically in the way that allows me to feed me and my wifey and my child. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
That's where I'm at too, man. And I think like being in that space of receptivity and also like I do work hard. Like I'm always like constantly creating, and like I don't feel like I stay in that vibration for a long time. Like, oh fuck, woe is me. Like, honestly,
you can't.
I've seen like my son's mothers like really step up and like kind of step into this new like just focused, and for me it's like I'm always like I like to take time to like break down how I'm feeling, not just be like I'm there, I'm ready.
Process
I feel like that like just like overrides like so many emotions, you know, which I think are healthy, and sometimes I like to believe like that process will allow those things to come in more, because I'm not like blocked by the lesson that I need to learn.
Yeah. My baby mama's been slaying, like dragon level slaying, made all the money she needed for midwives and doulas, and I helped a little, and country wife, I clean the house and do the dishes, and I'm out here building recording studios and building companies and stuff too, but boy did she turn on the jets these last 2 months, and it fucked me up a little bit because of what society has told us, that like we're supposed to be the breadwinners. Right, men are supposed to be the one making all the money, and it really challenged me to check in with myself, and also like give myself some words of affirmation and say like, no, I do a good job, I show up, I'm super helpful, I do everything I need to do, and if she's blowing me out of the water on the money front right now, that's only more fire, that's only more sharp steel to sharpen my steel to go out there and get it. Like I could let that energy push me down, or I could let it propel me into a whole new world, which is what is happening now. And that's part of what my step is in taking over her space, because she's paying for an office, this beautiful office at this mansion off Cheeseman Park, and it's going to be empty for 2 months. So I'm going to do stuff in it, and it's scary. And people have asked me to do healing spaces for men for a long time, and I've always said, I don't know, I'm not ready. And I'll tell you one thing that fatherhood does, right, is it makes you feel like now's the time. There's no other time to be ready but now. So I'm ready. And
I like that, man.
I'm ready to get it.
Where do you feel like the confidence, like, where do you draw that from?
My failures and my lack of feeling confident. Like not wanting to stay there, like you just said. It's like feeling the really intense, hardcore shit and then realizing, like, I don't want to be here. And like, what do I learn from this? How can this be my ally? How can this be fuel for me to move forward and not be here anymore?
I mean, it's really hard, dude. Like, this is admittedly the only time in my life, I think, ever that I've felt like really, really like pressure.
Really?
Like really like, oh shit, like I don't think I've ever felt like that.
Really?
Like this is the first time where I'm just like, oh fuck. And
Totally.
like,
that's got to be super normal, right? There's got to be tons of dads out there who feel that way.
yeah, I mean that, and also like wanting to like figure out the space to transmute that and feel that, as well as not let it overcome, but also wanting to feel that. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing that I really can do is do it. Like, I just have to be in the process of it. And I think what I can work on is allowing myself the space, like you said, the affirmations, and just not to be so hard on myself.
Yeah. Easier said than done.
It's almost 2019. How are you? This is a segue, by the way.
Do it.
How are you?
Segue it up.
Because I think one of those things in terms of self-affirmations is celebration.
Yeah.
And I think with gratitude, you're able to step into a new vibration.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how are you celebrating Ryan Foo leaving 2018?
How am I celebrating?
Yourself, yes. How are you celebrating?
I don't know if like.
Then we got some more motherfucking questions.
Here, say the questions and then I'll get to them.
All right. Masculinity conviction, specific gender requirement. That was okay. I got to roll back. Aaron Vigil, basically creating a meaningless cult. Your specific gender requirement is not only a fallacy but absurd. Stop with the masculinity conviction. That's from Aaron Vigil.
Well, let me respond to that real quick.
I'm gonna like that because I love spiciness.
Yeah, I like spiciness. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to see that because I want to respond to that. I agree. I don't think like masculinity. So part of my unwillingness to define masculinity comes down to this. My understanding, my experience, is that everyone is both masculine and feminine. That duality is a kind of illusion which can be used to control people, but more importantly, is not where you actually exist. So no one is either masculine or feminine, or more masculine or more feminine. Everyone is both. These things are merely metaphors. It's like saying everything is either left or right, or up or down. they're not. Everything is both those things. Those things are reference points for moving one way or the other, and they may be more helpful or less helpful depending on whether you want to go left or right or up or down. And one's not better than the other. They don't even really exist. But I'm trying to save this kind of juicy shit for the actual work, but thank you for bringing it up. And also, I'm not bogged down by that. I do think masculinity can be a kind of cult. I think femininity can be a kind of cult. I think religion can, I think anything, any kind of dogma, any kind of identity can be a place you get stuck. But if you don't see them as places to arrive, but you see them as tools to help you move forward, then you're not really identifying with them, you're not really stuck with them. They're just a shovel for digging a hole for this purpose. But I'm not going to use that shovel to start hammering nails in on my house or to fix my roof. That's not what the tool's for.
What do you mean there?
I mean that masculinity has its uses in this form, in this metaphor, but I don't think I have any interest in sticking to it. I think there are some people who do, and I think that should also be honored. But I think we live in a world now where there's so much gender fluidity that folks are starting to realize how made up all this shit is, which is absolutely true. So when I say masculinity, it's really just a reference point. Please don't take it too seriously. I'm with you and probably agree with you. Next.
Aaron, I hope that you're still watching because that was the answer to your question.
Yeah, sorry it didn't come right away.
And then Utimia said, replying to Aaron, masculinity, conviction, specific gender requirement. She was confused.
Yeah, no gender requirement, no specific conviction. Just talking about how it is true, regardless of your gender, that masculinity is presented a certain way in society and affects us regardless of your gender.
Yeah.
Because we're told that men are supposed to be XYZ.
Olivia Garcia sent us heart emojis.
Love you.
Shout out to that.
All the love.
And then Utimia says, baby daddy holds it down in all the ways, don't front.
Oh, thanks, love. Yeah, but still, and this goes back to, was it Sam? Whoever said that comment?
Aaron?
Aaron
Bishop.
Sorry. What he said was that, I assume it was he. I'm not looking at your profile picture or anything. I'm not making any assumptions. I think that society has indoctrinated us so heavily, whether that's in capitalism or in gender roles or in religious roles or in teacher-student roles, or there's all these archetypes that have been pushed on us really hard. I think sometimes of like the superhero mythology, which is so prevalent in American culture. This idea that we're all supposed to be like superheroes. We're all supposed to like save the day,
I mean, in some places, though, to be fair, you do have to reach that space.
But it's not the tool for everything, right? If the only tool you have is a hammer, then everything starts to look like a nail. You have to see a tool for its value and say, sometimes I want to use the tool for that thing, and sometimes I don't. And that's what matters to me. So I think, though, with all these indoctrinations, thank you, love, for telling me not to trip. I will do my best not to. And also, I've got to work through a lifetime of conditioning that has encouraged me to feel really bad about that. Specifically, the not holding it down as much as my female partner at the money front for these last month and a half or whatever, which is so narrow and specific, but just revealing as to how deeply
deep that pressure
is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Dude, I feel that, man. And also, as a father, I think this conversation is important because you've helped me also. You know what I'm saying? I think maybe, hopefully, other fathers or other men or other women, anyone is watching this and just trying to analyze, okay, how much of this is society's pressure on me, expectations on me, versus the work that I'm doing, the work that I'm committing to doing, and the work that I want to do. It's I think sometimes the effort and just wanting to put your name in the hat is that that step, even if you're not currently where you want to be yet.
No, it's everything. I wouldn't even say
always have to be moving forward.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that's a step. I'd say that's it. That's it. All you have to do is want to get better. If that's the only thing you've got going for you, is that you want to be better, you want to grow, you want to change, you want to evolve, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. The rest is going to be done for you.
Mm.
It's just about listening. And even if you're bad at listening and you want to be better, something's gonna happen and you're gonna fuck it up, and then you're gonna realize, like, oh my god, the whole universe was just trying to help me out, and I didn't. And you'll learn from that. So if the only thing you've got is that intention for growth, you'll be fine.
That was powerful, man.
Nice.
How are you celebrating yourself? Did you say that?
Oh no, I didn't get to that. I do have a really specific answer for that though.
Celebrate good times. Come on. It's almost 2019.
It is. How do I celebrate?
How are you celebrating yourself?
I don't know if this is unique to the New Year. I celebrate myself by winning.
Mm.
Oh, I love games.
You're such a fucking Aries.
Oh, I love winning so much. It's a
I
drug.
hate it. All right. Pete Rock says this is going to be a great journey. Looking forward to it.
Oh man, I hope you come, man. That's gonna be fantastic, Pete. I hope to see you there.
Oh, dope. Oh, you know Pete?
Yeah.
Cool.
We're like Facebook acquaintances. You know, that happens in 2018 and then maybe 2019.
And then you meet in real life, and it's like, bet.
But that's why I like winning. I don't just like winning because of the drug of winning. I do, but it's a kind of celebration. Like oh, I did it! Yes. There's nothing like that feeling. When you accomplish something, I'm going to use video games as a metaphor. When you accomplish something outrageous
What's your
in a
favorite video game?
You want to talk about getting deep? That's a deep question, John.
What's your favorite game?
My favorite video game is Human.
Shut the. Have you played video games lately?
Yeah.
Which one? My favorite video game is Human.
I picked up Final Fantasy Tactics, which is like a super old school game. I picked up the new Mass Effect Andromeda, which is pretty good. It's not as good as the other ones, but it's pretty good. I picked up Fallout 76 and was just sickeningly disgusted. It's terrible.
76?
Yeah, Fallout 76. It's the fifth.
Like set in.
It's the fifth Fallout in Fallout series, but
is it set in 1976?
no, it's. Don't worry about it. It's not.
I don't get
important.
it.
It's the name of the vault, but it's just a bad video game. But I like playing competitive video games online. Chess. Okay. I'm constantly playing chess. If you play chess out there and you want to play me, bring a board to the Brethren event. We will get it. I also think that talking about divine masculinity, one of the aspects of divine masculinity that I think is super important is competition. And it's not reserved to that. Again, like if you are someone who is gender fluid or does not feel bound by those concepts, good. Don't take this personally. But for those who connect with the masculine energy as a useful tool in their life, for that, absolutely competition is part of it. We used to hit each other with sticks all the time. I miss that.
Yeah, I think I love like games like basketball.
Yeah.
Like, I love that competitive, but when it's like I'm trying to like flex on someone, it just feels empty. Like
it doesn't have to be trying to flex on someone. It could just be winning for you. It doesn't have to be, like you don't have to win to spite someone else.
Yeah.
You can win because you love you that much. And that's where it becomes such a great question, a celebration.
Yeah.
That's what it should be. Like, yes!
Nice, when you win.
Yeah.
All right, man. I like that.
That's my... So I'll probably bring in the new year winning at something. And I'll capture that spirit. And I'll feel like, oh, yeah, I can... That's the juice. And I'll take that forward. And it's definitely a self-love practice for me.
What do you hope happens next year? Like, what do you feel like you're bringing into form other than like a baby?
Yeah, a human.
And just more self-love, self-growth. But as far as like projects,
Illuminati 3.0.
Okay.
Ryan Foo 5.0.
Okay.
Whatever my spiritual practice is that I'm sharing with the community, that's still really unclear for me. Like part of the reason I want to do Brethren and events like this is I want to be really vulnerable with the world and the internet and saying, I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I want to do. I know the direction I'm going, but there's nowhere I've landed. I haven't built a home base. I don't have a name. I don't have like what I do is this. I'm officially an ordained minister, so I can legally give spiritual counseling. But outside of all those things, I want to explore. That's what's exciting to me. So 2019 for me is going to be a year of exploration.
And sauce.
And sauce. And winning.
If you have any more questions, we are about to wrap up here. We are almost at the hour mark, which is
Damn,
how
really?
long I like to keep my podcast.
Yeah.
So feel free to send us any questions. Here is something.
Buy this man's shirts.
Kid Astronaut tees on
Here, let me hold it.
on your interwebs. Thank you.
I know there's like a dealio with the shirts, so tell me the dealio.
Yeah, so basically each shirt is $25, and I give $5 to the Denver Food Rescue. And they go around here. You don't have to hold it. They go around on like bikes and deliver food to food deserts.
And you give some of your money from the shirts to them.
Yeah.
Nice. How much?
$5 of every shirt.
Nice.
So
That's like
make
20%.
20 off the shirt.
Yeah.
Give them $5.
And it costs money to make the shirt too. So.
And then I got to make more shirts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, please support.
Yeah, support him. Buy his stuff. Go listen to his music. I love you.
Thanks, man. I
There's,
love you too.
as much as I work with art and events, it's really rare that I listen to music in my free time.
Mhm.
And you know whose music I actually listen to in my free time sometimes?
Wham. George fucking Michael.
No, it's not Wham. I don't know who Wham is.
Dude,
That's how uncultured I am in music.
there's a horrible music video. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to find it.
But let me
send
go
it
back
you.
to singing your praises. Elevate is like one of my favorite songs.
Thanks, man.
And I just like, I don't know, something about like the vibe of it. I hella bump that. That's like I think of like Corin Chavez.
Mhm.
Back to this. Corin Chavez used to bump, what's his name? The guy who raps about food all the time. It's not like that's not like his main thing. He just happens to rap about food.
Biggie?
No, not Biggie.
Biggie is
Oh
something
my
else.
God. Wow, I cannot remember his name right now. I like hear some of his songs, but I can't.
Rap it.
I can't. It's hard. I can't like pull it
Pull
out.
it in.
Don something. Don. He's not like super popular,
Okay.
but he's popular enough. You would have known it. Anyway, you're that to me. You're one of those people I bump all the time. So
Right,
go
man.
listen to his music. Buy his shirts. Listen to his music.
Yeah, please. What's up with like We Are Denver?
This is it. Come do a podcast.
Yeah, talk about that. What do you want people to do?
I want people to podcast. We're making a bunch of upgrades. We spent a bunch of money, and we're going to have new microphones and a new mixer, courtesy of Genta. Do you remember Genta?
I do.
Genta, thank you. Genta's
God
sending us a
damn it,
new
Genta.
high-quality mixer.
You great person.
You fantastic human being. Thank you so much. So with the new mixer and the new computer that Samson, shout out to Steven Samson, you're the homie, and he's building a new computer. With that and the new mixer and new mics, we're going to be like shot to the next moon. You're going to start seeing podcasts with various camera angles that do live switching, and
So sexy.
it's going to sound pretty. Come do it. We're doing community days. We had 6 podcasts in our last community day. It's a day where you can podcast for free. So that's going to happen in January too. Come check it out. We're here.
Ryan Foo, thank you very much.
Thank you, John. I love you.
This was very fun. I'm sure we'll have more conversations in the future, but I think we hit the tip of the iceberg.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like as far as like where we can go as far as conversationally. But you gave me a
Yeah.
lot to think about, man, and
You
I
gave
don't
me
know.
a lot to think
I
about.
appreciate your reflection in my life. I appreciate just like I'm always like, man, I want to like get like Ryan. You know what I'm saying?
Well.
I'm always trying to just level up.
You're fantastic.
Not
and
trying to.
As
It's
much
like,
as
just do it.
As much as I appreciate that, I'll also remind you that comparison is the thief of joy.
That's fair.
And you're fantastic, and you
Thanks, man.
are a great you. There's no one else who John Shockness is as hard as you do.
I haven't met them yet.
Yeah, if there is, I ain't met him yet.
Yeah.
So you do that, dude. I look up to you a lot, man, too.
Thanks, man.
I really appreciate you.
This is Kid Astronaut Podcast episode 6.
That's the stuff. And 2018's gone.
That's it, man.
Bye.
This episode will be up on YouTube hopefully tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get it done tonight. We're doing my fucking run. I'm getting this fucking done tonight.
That's
what
right.
I do. I just get it done.
Yeah.
So thank you, man. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. Thank you to the people that asked us questions. It doesn't look like we have anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go over here and log out.
I really hope that person, was it Aaron, checks in again and sees the response. If not, I'm going to reach out because this is a good question and deserves response.
For sure.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. Stay safe. It's New Year's, so be good. Be good to yourself. Be good to your loved ones. Be good to your animals. And we'll see you soon. We love you.